We're fixed. We're in flipping action. Yeah. Alright everyone, let's play a song to celebrate. Have you got audio twice? It looks like you might have. There you go. Oh, that's difficult to do, but also fun. A little bit of Legion for you. Hello. Got some people here, haven't we? How we doing on this fine day? Hope you're on a good one. Thank you for bearing with me while I fixed the technical gremlins that seem to have plagued my computer. I was having this issue over the past couple of weeks where my computer would randomly turn off. It would just switch off. And it might happen today. It's this weird issue that seems to be a Windows security issue, and it comes up and it just says 0x139 kernel issue. And I've Googled it, and I've had help, a friend from the internet try and help me. A friend from the internet. A friend who I know, who I met through the internet, try and help me. And it's still doing it every now and then. It's only done it once since I've done a load of fixings. But it still flipping does it sometimes, which is really annoying. I can't figure out why it does it. So anyway, I think in trying to fix all of that stuff, it probably did something to my OBS that caused some silly things to happen. And when I went live, everything was 320p. Who wants 320p? Maybe if you've got something that is literally 320 pence and you're trying to buy it, 320p is useful. If you're trying to watch someone on the internet and they're going 320p, you're like, come on, mate, it's not 1995. Sort yourself out. So I sorted myself out, and we're now blazing it at flipping 108, 1080, 1920 by 1080, just like a Blu-ray. No, that was a DVD, wasn't it? Blu-ray's better than that. I don't even know anymore. Who knows what anyone is? Wait, was Blu-ray 1080? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And DVDs were less than that, like 5 something. Man, does anyone even remember this stuff? No one that's on the internet thinks about this stuff anymore. Everyone's trying to stream in 4K. I ain't trying to stream in 4K. That seems insane. Oh yeah, I don't know that I can be bothered with that. That seems like overkill. Does anyone want to see this in 4K? Does it make that much of a difference? Blu-ray goes up to 4K. Okay, there we go. But who's got physical media players anymore? This is something that's driven me a little bit crazy with Tesseract. All of our past releases, it's like a bunch of the video things, it's just been on Blu-ray and there hasn't been a digital release of it. And it's like, so only 60-year-old dudes are buying it. Like, do you know what I mean? Most of the people these days are downloading. They want a download of something. They don't want a physical version of it. I used to want a physical version. I used to think that was really cool. But I can't remember the last time I got up and put a CD in a drive. It was a long time ago. Flipping stupid. Anyway, here's a thing that I was thinking about last night. And maybe you guys can clear this up for me. So, I saw a band recently that I've known for a very, very long time. They put out a new album. And I haven't listened to the album yet. But I will one day, maybe. And it's on Bandcamp and it's $9.99. Right? $9.99 to go and own a digital copy of it, right? Or at least I suppose you're licensing a digital copy of it. Either way, you pay $9.99, you've got a version of it that's yours. If people all did that, if all the fans of your band did that, then a band might actually be able to survive when they release an album. And instead, what everyone's got used to doing is paying $9.99 and having access to all of the world's music, and musicians have now got no money, and the people that have set up the streaming companies have got fucking loads of money. So it's just like completely broken the one thing that the artists had, because like touring doesn't make any money, merchandise makes some money but not what you might think, and then music obviously makes nothing for anyone anymore, and royalties is just a joke as well. So like there isn't really any money from being in a band. But what my question is if a band that you liked was to release their newest thing on something like Bandcamp, right, and they release it, let's say like you get it 3 or 4 days before it's released on any other digital platform, you get to listen to the music earlier, $10. Are you paying that? What are you saying? Someone says, I use Tidal. Someone said performers get paid better on it. I don't think it's like a noticeably better. I think it might just be that the CEO of Tidal isn't the CEO of Spotify, funding war and all kinds of nonsense. it's more like, you know how. Actually, let's stay in the original thought sphere before I rabbit hole on something else. But like, yeah, you will not buy all CDs, but merch regardless of streaming to support your favorite bands. Oh, not only all CDs. I like that. That's amazing. And because I don't know about you guys, I'm from a time before some of you, I'm sure, but I'm sure some of you are kind of my age as well, or literally my age. I'm 41, I'm about to be 42 this year. I remember a time before we had access to everything all the time when somehow it felt better. And I know that's like the old guy saying, oh, the good old days. But general levels of anxiety, a lot lower, I think, across the board for all people. And I also think that there was something to look forward to in going down to a CD store and getting your favourite artist's new thing. Getting, like, you go to the store and you pick it up. I remember being obsessed with, like, waiting for an Incubus album to come out. Like, Make Yourself, Morning View, those albums, waiting for them to come out. And Sixth's album, that band Sixth, when they released, what is it? The Trees Are Dead and Died Out, whatever it is, that the album with the tree roots and the ice, the first album, I was going into HMV in the UK, in my local city, Birmingham, like every week, asking the person behind the counter, have you got any news on that Sixth album? And they'd open up some kind of book, or they'd look through an inventory thing, and they had no information yet. And I was like, oh my God, when? Come on, give me some information. And then they finally had some information, and then the CD was coming out, and oh my God, it was flipping amazing. And I remember getting it and treasuring this thing. Like, I had to go back to work. I didn't have a way to play a CD at work. I'd got some songs. I'd got a mini disc player that I'd put a load of songs on, and I was listening to those. And I remember going home, having this CD on my desk, and just like staring at it, going, "Oh God, all I want to do is listen to that. I don't want to be doing this crappy paperwork for this boring office." And went home, whacked it on my dad's stereo, closed the door to the dining room, which is where my dad's stereo was set up, blasted that album. I remember Scent of the Obscene, the first song on that record, kind of being the perfect song. I was like, oh my God, these guys have written the perfect song. It's so good. And it goes to like places that I just had never heard music go before. And there's a couple of songs on that album especially, but flipping heck, that's what I'm talking about. The excitement around waiting for the release, getting the release, like sticking it in the player. Amazing. And kind of the same with movies. Like waiting for it to come out, going and buying it. I remember doing that with like the first few Marvel movies, first Iron Man, having that on Blu-ray. That was a treat. That was a flipping treat. Now, everything's just there, isn't it? You've got everything. I don't know. I think we've gone too far, everyone. I think we've got it all, and we don't know what we've got. I sound like an old boy, but I think I'm onto something. And I think if a few of us were willing to go back to slightly older times, it might be better for the world. I just think... I'm also speaking selfishly because I'm in a band. You know. Waiting for video game drops at midnight. Yes, that is one of them. I went to... where was it? It was a Tesco, which half of you will know and half of you won't because you're not from the UK. Tesco's in the UK, in Reading, where I was living. And... yeah, it was Grand Theft Auto 4, and it was released at midnight. And myself, I got the PlayStation 1. My roommate at the time got the Xbox One. We both bought the last copies. There was a big line of people, and we managed to get the last copies. And we stayed up till maybe 3 a.m. playing the game. And then we're like, we've actually got to get up. Yeah, it was a big Tesco Sticks Preston. It was a big one. And we had to get up and go to work. We both worked at the same place the next morning, and we were flipping exhausted. Like, who wants to get up and go to work the next day? I saw a thing that GTA 6 is coming out in November this year, and it's predicted to be the biggest day off in the world that anyone's ever taken. Because you got all these people that are just not going to go to work because they're going to be so excited to be playing GTA 6. And I totally get it. Because I was that guy. So in a way, it's great that people are still doing that. People are excited about these midnight releases and stuff like that. I think that going back to the original thing, like giving a band $10 for their album, if people would do that, the difference it would make to the music industry, rather than just having all of the... Okay, here's the thing. You would spend, back in the day, an amount of money each month, maybe on music, right? You might get 2 albums. You might get... Maybe you had more money. You could get however many you want. But, like, I probably wouldn't spend more than, like, £20-30, so $20-30 a month on music, because I didn't have that much money. And that, so I was kind of cherry picking what I would buy. And you'd take a chance. You'd maybe go to a CD store. They'd have like secondhand CDs, or there'd be a bin with like reduced music and stuff. And you'd occasionally take a chance there. But like you kind of knew what you wanted, and you'd maybe, if you hadn't picked up something in a while, you'd go and get something that had been on your list for a while. Like it becomes a collection. Like you were proud of your music collection. My dad's still proud of his. He's got all of his CDs up, and there's something that's great and romantic about that. There's nothing romantic about opening Spotify and just, it's all just there, and there's nothing. It's kind of this soulless thing. And it's saturated to hell. And soon you're going to be you probably already are, just listening to a bunch of AI stuff and don't even know it. So it's soulless and saturated, and it's becoming more soulless and saturated. But people are still creating, and to keep that alive for as many of the good ones as possible, it's got to come from everyone. So if you've got $5, if you've got $10 to support your favorite bands, put it into them for that month, and go back to using the adverts version of the streaming platform that you've been used to using for the past 3, 4, 5 years. Try going a month where you put that money into the pocket of an artist that you like, and 1, see if that doesn't make you feel better, and 2, see if that doesn't, you might even get a thanks from the band. Like, imagine that. Your favourite band actually thanks you for spending that money. You get something more personal when you do that. So, anyway, I didn't know I was going to go there today, but I did. What we're saying, this is before considering that 40% of all music uploaded to Spotify daily is AI generated. 6 of Spotify's top 100 songs in January were completely AI generated. Yeah, it's so stupid. And I get it, not everyone's listening to music for like that deep thing. It's just wallpaper for some people, right? It's just there in the background. They're doing something. They just want noise. It's just white noise. Fine. But it's ruining an industry, and it's ruining the industry that I'm in and that I'm a part of. And so many people are like affected by all this stuff. There's definitely good, helpful uses for AI, and just spitting out endless oceans of AI art and AI music and all of that isn't one of them, in my limited opinion. That's just my take on it. But I'm a creative, and I can consider all of the work I've done up to this point in my life to be able to do the stuff I can do now, and it's able to be replicated like that by something that's not alive, right? Anyway, what's your take on new AI-generated metalcore that's out there? I haven't heard any of it, but I assume it sounds like all metalcore. And yeah, I'm sure that they were great. I'm sure they sound great. You didn't know that they were AI. Yeah, like I totally believe it. I saw what's his name? YouTube musician, interviewer guy. I can't remember his name. Rick Beato do a thing about it, and he was listening, and it's like, yeah, unfortunately this is good. And it's like, yeah, unfortunately it is. And unfortunately that money's just, you think about this, like if Spotify is making a bunch of AI music and uploading it, the money's just going back into Spotify. It's just it's the infinite money wheel. We're doing the wrong thing. Here we are about to go into the studio to do more Tesseract, when we could just be like, hey, AI, can you just make me like 7 million Tesseract songs and release them all today, please? And, make some of them just really radio friendly. Who cares? But there's like a moral disgust in doing that for me. And it's not wrong. It's subjectively not wrong. It's just like, for me, it feels wrong. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I saw someone a minute ago talking about Sixth and Nolly doing the bass. He's playing bass for Sixth for something. I did see that. It's brilliant. That's going to be great. And speaking of Sixth bassists, James Leach, I was stuck in an elevator with him in May last year for about quite a long time. He was playing bass on the Devin Townsend tour that we were on for Devin Townsend, and we all got stuck in an elevator for flipping ages in Detroit. And we shared each other's sweat for quite a while. We were like this close to each other's faces when we didn't kiss. Don't know why. I was asking him and he didn't want to kiss, so I guess he doesn't like me. Should we play another song? I almost lost my stick then. Someone was asking how am I counting it. It's all 4/4, but then there's a little 3 at the end for it to wrap back around. That's a really simplified version. It's all 4/4 if you try hard enough. Yeah, even the verse, I'm hearing it as 4/4 still. The snare's just landing on the 3, so if you pay attention to the snare, it makes a bit more sense. Yes, it is. Yeah, song is Natural Disaster by Tesseract. And there's lots and lots and lots and lots going on in that song. So someone's asking me that middle section. What's going on there? Right? I've got a 2/3 polyrhythm going on there. That's creating a dotted pattern with the right hand. Right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Those two things. That's what's known as a 3/2 polyrhythm, when we're playing a 3 and a 2 at the same time. And what happens is, if that pedal hat count, instead of being the 3 of a 3/2 polyrhythm, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, keep the same count, but count it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it goes back to being 4/4, and it's within that 4/4 count that the groove exists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Ah, shite, I can't say it and play it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now I can't do it. So, as long as you follow the pedal hat in that one, that's doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and the snare 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just landing on the 3 each time of that 4 count. That is it. That is literally it, everyone. It's not that difficult, but I suppose it is. I'm just autistic. Let's face it. You don't get this obsessed with the drums and play things like this unless you've got a little bit of brain tinkering going on at a genetic level, I think. That might be what's going on. So, but I was talking to a friend about this earlier on. We were talking about understanding any of this stuff at this level, and I do think that I disregard the 30 years that I've played this silly stuff, or tried to, and I'm just like, oh yeah, it's just this, when really there's quite a bit more to it. And my job as is becoming, as a drum educator, to try my best to explain how to do this stuff, not from the point that I'm currently at, though. That's the difficult thing, because something I discovered in my masterclass, hello Fen, something that I discovered, right, with my masterclass students, and Gosia will back me up, and Fen will back me up, because they're both masterclass people, and is that used to say, I think it might have actually been, it was Gosia, or was it Fen that called me on this? I think it was Fen, actually. When they're like, what do you do? Like, if I'm trying to practice this thing really well, what do you do? Well, you just practice it. Because the actual answer that I have at this point in my life when I'm trying to play anything new that's difficult, is I just loop it. I put that thing on loop and I practice it and I get good at it and I slow it down and I'd use a visual asset and all of that. It was Fen. Yes, it was. And while that is true for me at this level with the things I'm trying to learn, I've got it dialed in at this point. For people who are trying to learn this stuff, there is an easier exercise. There is something that isn't literally all of this complexity in one thing. It's a step towards it from wherever they are right now. So I was talking to Gosia about this, I think, talking about the stack pattern in Sacrifice, the being able to play all that stuff. And then the next bit. Right, it's still, it's difficult, but to me, I've done it so many times that it's not that difficult. And in those patterns, while my approach is to take the entire phrase, stick it on loop, play it, and after maybe 20, 30 minutes, click, my superpower has kicked in and I've got the pattern. That's not going to happen for most people. Probably. Unless you've played drums for 30 years and you've been obsessed with silly patterns for 15 of them. It's probably not just going to click. So you've got to find something in there that starts to install bits of that pattern as a flow, right? And a flow is when you just keep in, you're just playing the same pattern over and over again, trying not to like drop any of the notes. And when you've got something like that as a flow, then the patterns, the numbers, the relationships between the numbers start to get locked in. So in that Sacrifice pattern, like in that, for example, I would be focused on that. I'd be focused on getting that ghost note pattern as a cheat beat, right? Where you're just following 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and putting ghost notes. Get that nice and clean with the pedal hat. You got a count down there. You got your point of reference there. You're playing this kind of syncopated thing in the rest of the places, and then you could practice putting some of those snare accents in. Like you can start practicing and adding a little bit at a time, and that's something new to me because I don't practice in that way, but I think an intermediate way to approach some of these patterns is perhaps to think about things like that. So there's a pattern within there that's less complex than the entire thing. Identify what that fundamental is and try looping that. Again, that'll get you a bit closer to doing it. And yeah, if you're struggling with learning any of these types of things, that could be a way to get there. So anyway, let's talk about some other things. That was a little insight from Masterclass World, which, by the way, I mentioned at the start of the stream that I started before this one that was all 320p and crappy quality. I run a thing called the Progressive Drumming Masterclass. You may have heard about it on social media because it's all the rage. It's actually something that the internet loves to not broadcast about what I do because I'm obviously trying to make a bit of money and make a living from music. And how dare I do that on the internet? So if I post anything about it, YouTube and Instagram, they're all like, no, pay money now. But if I put a video of my goats jumping around, instantly it's like, oh yeah, 700,000 people are going to love it. So anyway, I'm going to talk to you very quickly about it. It's a drumming program that I run. It takes about 5 months in total, 4 to 5 months by the time it's all wrapped around. It's 21 lessons, lots of exercises in each lesson, and the goal is you go for 1 to 3 exercises per lesson that represent your next level, not anyone else's, your next level, and you focus on only those things that week. And there are holidays baked into the schedule for the masterclass. We have 3 breaks so that you've got a chance to rest and go and do literally anything else for that week or get more time in. And we've been working on it for the past 4 or 5 months, something like that. This is the 5th version of it, and it's flipping brilliant, even if I say so myself. And some of my students are in the chat right now. They'll also hopefully tell you it's also brilliant. There's a wonderful community of students that are a part of it. And the next one starts on Saturday next week. So if you're interested in joining me and a bunch of lovely people for a period of time online and learning more about the drums than you've ever learned before in a focused and systematic way, I'm your guy. I've got a solution for you, and it's going to be flipping brilliant. So, yeah, drop me a message. Go to jpostones.com, click on the Masterclass button, and you'll find out all about it. And we're going to have a conversation this weekend or this coming week about it. I'll get on a Zoom call with absolutely everyone that's interested in doing it to make sure it's the thing for you, because I don't want you doing this if it's not going to do the thing for you. So it's also one-on-one. There's one-on-one support all the way through it. If you need it, you let me know, and we do one of these, and it's fun. So there we go. And if ends like join us in suffering with exercise 2.1, there's an exercise I did right at the beginning of the masterclass that I thought was not difficult, that everyone couldn't do. And that made me laugh and everyone else laugh. And we've brought it back at many points in the masterclass with slight variations. So yes, it's a good time. Anyway, I just did a lot of talking. I'm sure you're not here to hear me talk. You're here to watch me drink water. It's the JASMR drinking water stream. Lovely. I could drink water while cupping the microphone like this. That'd be very nice. Can I show you what exercise 2.1 is? Yes, it's real easy. It's just... No, it's not that. It's this. But you've got to play it 7 times as fast as that, and with one hand and no legs. So it's a little bit more difficult than what I just played, but it's doable. I think you'd agree. That was the most memey answer I could give to that question. Shall I show what exercise 2.1 is? 400 beats per minute as well. Yeah, it's 400 BPM. Exercise 2.1. Right, it was wasn't it? I think it's a fairly straightforward pattern, but it turns out to be a bit of a physical tongue twister. So it's a 5-stroke pattern where we keep in a consistent 4-stroke pulse, a quarter note over the top of it. That's the full loop. Right? And you speed it up a bit. And it can turn into that, or you can... You can do kind of modulated things with it, or... That was difficult. I was trying to modulate just the end. Ooh, that's a good one. I need to include that next time around. It's a pattern I can't play. But yeah, you can do all kinds of crazy things with it, but you just need to practice them. And I hadn't practiced that one, but it was an idea that I had in my brain, so I thought I'd try it and demonstrate it and not be able to do it in front of you. But that's kind of the purpose of drumming. You've got to explore these things when you hear them in your brain to see if you can go there. And now I've got something that I need to practice myself. Let's see if I can do it again. Oh. Oh, it doesn't loop on the flipping thing, so I have to... okay. And it still doesn't loop. There'd be one more because it's a dotted thing. So yeah, it's difficult. There are these difficult things. Oh gosh, it's tricky, but it's a lot of fun. So yeah, I've doomed us all. Everyone's doomed. Fen, did you ever get it in the end? I think you did. Or you could do a fast one. That's a fun way to modulate it, though, to come back around. So, I like that as well. It's such a simple one because it's just a 1 and a 2. 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2. You know what I mean? And this is the kind of thing that I find really stupid because I say, it's just a 1 and a 2, and I feel like some of you are probably that are drummers will be like, oh yeah, I get it. But then there's going to be maybe a load of you who aren't drummers who are like, what the flipping hell's he talking about? Saying these weird numbers. Oh, it's just a 5. It's just a 5. You know what I mean? Oh man, yeah. Okay, here's a fun one. Speedy Bagel. I was the guy that's the developer for my website. I was talking to him about this the other day because he's the brother of one of the guys in Periphery, and I had a dream at the start of this week that was a pretty uncomfortable dream, if I'm being honest. And I don't look into dreams that much. Because I know some people are like, oh, it's an insight into your life, and then others are just like, it's just a dream, shut up. And I don't know. I feel I fall more into the latter half than the first. Anyway, doesn't matter. I had a very vivid dream, and Periphery had asked me to. This isn't true. This is a dream. Periphery had asked me to fill in for them, right, on the drums. Matt couldn't do a show. And it was one show, and I'm like, oh yeah, fine, I'll just do it. No problem. Just casually say, yeah, I'll play some Periphery, why not? And didn't think too much about it. It got to the day, right? It was a big show in London. Got this venue booked out and everything. It was a really big venue. It wasn't one that I recognised, but it was really big. Loads of people could fit in there. Multiple tiers of balcony and stuff. And Matt's trying to... He turns up for the rehearsal that's in this venue, in the dream, and everyone's playing, and I'm just getting more and more nervous because I'm like, I've got to play this flipping music in a bit, and I hadn't rehearsed it at all in my dream at all. I hadn't rehearsed it. I didn't know what the songs were. I was just like, I'll just busk it. It'll be okay. And then the venue started filling up with people. And it dawned on me that I had to play this show with Periphery, and I hadn't rehearsed at all for it, and there was no turning back, and I'd said yes, and they all thought I was completely rehearsed for it. Because in Tesseract World, I just have to be rehearsed, and then I'll turn up. And and that was the dream. And then actually, the weird thing happened. Like, we were going to rehearse, but then someone ran on stage and was like, "Okay, now we got to get the flight because the show's in New York." And I'm like, oh, "Okay, so I've got to fly to New York now, and then we just go straight to the show." They're like, "Yeah," and then I can't remember anything after that. So that was it. But yeah, that was fun. That was fun to exist in for the hours that it felt like I was in it in my brain. Flipping stupid. Why did your brain do that to you? Tell you what, I've been having lots more vivid dreams lately because I've been prioritizing my sleep. I've been trying to get much better sleep, and it's been working. It has been working. I'll tell you why. I've got a couple of things going on in my life. One, I'm trying to eat better and less like a freak. Two, I'm going to bed at a fairly consistent time every night, which helps a lot. If you're changing your sleep schedule regularly, you're killing yourself. Please stop doing it. If you don't believe me on that, just Google it. I'm getting a consistent amount of sleep every night. I'm not waking up with an alarm, and I haven't done that for a very long time. And I'm exercising regularly. I'm meditating daily. I'm connecting with more people, more of my students. I'm really enjoying that. And I'm also taking, you guys are going to go, oh. This isn't I'm not endorsed by this or anything. I don't get any money for saying it. AG1, the green drink that's really expensive that influencers drink. Well, I drink that because I feel like it's probably filling some gaps in my nutritional thing. But there's a sleep one, right? That is specifically a formula for going to sleep, and it's all the things that are going to help you go to sleep. So I have that. And as soon as I started having that, it was like dream vividness. But also, I got one of them 8-sleep cooling mattress topper things. Again, super influency. I don't get any money by saying that I'm using this thing, but it regulates the temperature of the bed and therefore you as you sleep, and figures out the the optimum temperature to keep you in the best, most restorative states of sleep. And it gets better at doing it the more you sleep on it. And I've been sleeping on it for a couple of months now, and some of the best sleep I've ever had, which is crazy. So yeah, that's good. That's quite nice, isn't it? If you're looking to upgrade your sleep, there's a few things you can do, but you just need flipping thousands of dollars apparently, because this stuff isn't cheap. But I'm a big believer in doing everything I can to get better sleep, because if I get better sleep, I can do my day better, and I'm always trying to do my days good. So there we go. Tesamorelin peptides, I don't know what that is, but yeah, there were lots of things that I'm sure will help you sleep. Are we about to find out that that's something that's going to do really terrible things and it's like some crazy drug, or is it actually just a supplement that's supposed to help with sleep? I don't know. Portal, now that you're able to recall dreams, you're a step away from lucid dreaming. I did have some lucid dreams years ago on tour. You can train yourself to lucid dream, can't you? And I looked into it for a while, because what you're supposed to do is when you have a dream, you wake up and write down. The very first thing you do is you wake up and you write down what that dream was, and you in as much vivid chronological detail as you can. And the more you do that, apparently you get closer to being able to lucid dream, where you control what you can do in a dream. And I had this dream where I was aware that I was in a dream, and I could kind of make decisions in the dream. Well, it wasn't like other dreams. It was this feels different somehow. It was strange. And I could decide to jump and do crazy superpower things. Yeah, really weird. There's another thing that happened a long time ago. Not that long, maybe 5 years ago, where I was doing regular meditation, and my wife had left to go to work in the morning. I was living in Austin in Texas, and I remember doing this daily meditation thing, and I got to this. It was as though I just sank. I felt like I was sinking, and I just sank and sank and sank further into the bed, and then I was in the room that I was asleep in, but I was floating in it. I hadn't taken anything. This is no drugs. This is first thing in the morning after sleeping all night, but I was very much floating in the room that I was in. And then there was just this, I was ripped out of it, and I was in my bedsheet blanket on a double-decker bus going up my old high street in the previous house that we lived in. And I was very aware that I wasn't meant to be there. It was very weird. I'm I'm not meant to be here. This is really weird. And I could look around and I could see the things that I'm used to seeing, like first person. It was really strange. And then I kind of tensed. I forced myself out of it. It was like I popped myself out of the dream, and then I was back in the room. It was the craziest thing. It was literally the craziest thing. It was like I've never had that experience ever before or since, and I don't know what it was. It was probably just me falling asleep, but the feeling of it was the most bizarre thing ever, and it was, you would have thought it was like a trip. You were tripping somehow. You'd taken some crazy drug, and that's what it was like. But anyway, that happened to me. Great story. Everyone loves that one. Let's let's do something else. I should play some music. You guys asked me to play Periphery. I'm not going to do that because I played some non-Tesseract stuff on a stream a few weeks ago, and the stream got tanked. They kicked me off YouTube, so I can't do stuff that isn't my music. I probably can't even do my music, if I'm honest. They're probably not going to let me do Tesseract. I'll just get kicked off because I don't think it's smart enough to know that I'm the drummer in Tesseract. But let's play a Tesseract song and find out. Oh, there's a song I'd like to play, but I can't remember all of it, which is a fun challenge. I haven't played this since I did it for the Minel video. It's been so long. I've forgotten so many little bits. That's not where it is. Okay, that was jammed, but it kind of worked out. Singularity, everyone. Haven't done that in a flipping long time. I literally think the last time I played that was in 20, whenever it was, when I did it for the Minal video. It's nice to revisit songs that are like in my brain quite a bit, that I haven't played on the drums in ages, to see how much of it is still there. And it's refreshing to know that it's not all gone. So I'm not losing my marbles just yet, which is great. Someone's asking in the chat about how to do the pedal hattings. So there's a technique. You can't see it because everything's in the way and I don't have a foot cam set up, but I'm going to tell you about it. You lift your foot up into a tiptoe, right? So you got your foot flat on the ground, lift it up at the heel, but keep your toe on the ground. That's the motion, right? And you practice doing that. And keep your toe on the ground, but just lift and get it into a comfortable bounce, where gravity's doing the work and all you're doing is lifting it up from a tiptoe. That's the motion to get used to, and then you can start to lift the toe ever so slightly. The thrusting up, lift your toe slightly off the ground, gravity brings it back down. It keeps a nice, consistent pedal hat count, and it's one of the few things in drumming that you can practice off the kit, I find, because it might look like you're sitting down, nervous, need a wee kind of thing, tapping your leg on the ground, but the motion of doing that trains in the bit of your body, the bits of your body, the many bits of your body that you need to be on autopilot to play that thing like with control. And then you practice putting that over beats that you can already play. So if you can already play a groove there, then move it to somewhere else, but keep down a quarter note on that on your foot. People asking me what's the kit. It's a TD50 KV module, but the drums are from the new VAD 516. Yeah, the VAD 516 is the majority of this. It's a combination, it's a hybrid between my old TD50KV and the VAD 516. I'm using the TD50KV Brain still, and I'm getting my sounds from here. My drum sounds that Toontrack put out last year. So you can go and check that out on Toontrack website. It's the Infinity Grid EZX, and it's very, very lovely. Sounds great. So that's my setup. I love it. Roland, amazing Roland drums that feel great, and then the Toontrack sounds as well. But yeah, Amanga, hello. Amanga Wood, hello. How you doing? Nice. You're just about to buy one. You've been wanting one since you saw the Nocturne vid. Flipping right. Yeah, the VAD 516 Fen Drums just got one as well. They're great. It's a really, really solid E-kit. It's flipping great. DeBazza as well, got it. It sounds so much better than the presets that you had. Yeah, if you're looking just for amazing sounds to plug into any E-kit, grab this. Go to toontrack.com, check out the Easy Drummer plugger VST. Check out the Infinity Grid EZX. Those are the drum sounds that you are hearing. It's lovely. I love it. Super lush sounding kit. We recorded it in Nashville a couple of years ago. There's 3 kits in there as well. It's not just the one. You need more pads now. Well, you can get some more pads. Just go and get some more pads. Surprised you also don't use GGD. Well, I've worked with Toontrack for ages. I've worked with them for a long time. We've done a bunch of MIDI packs together. Tesseract have used them forever. I love the GGD guys. Well, I was speaking to him for a while, but the software at the time didn't work as well with these kits as the Toontrack stuff did. And how I use it most of the time is when I'm playing drums like this. So I just wanted to integrate really easily, and it did with Toontrack stuff. So yeah, I use Toontrack, have done for ages. So do Tesseract. But yeah, there are some amazing sound libraries out there, and I got one of them. It's flipping great. Should I play another song? Have you guys got any questions? Would you like me to talk about anything in life? Would you like me to offer my opinion on things that happen in the world? Because I can do that. I can annoy some people. I know that you love me when I do that. Will we see you on the Downbeat podcast now Craig is in Nashville? I did the very first Downbeat podcast before it was a video. Actually, was it a video? It might have been a video still. It was me and Craig Reynolds in his old front room in his house. And it was the very first one. And it was just at the start of Sonder when Tesseract were releasing the first song from Sonder, and he'd got it on his TV behind him. But yeah, I don't know. I've got no idea. I spoke to him ages ago about doing the Downbeat with all of Tesseract, and he didn't get back to me, so I just haven't bothered. It's like, well, all right, if you want to do it at some point, you can reach out to me, but it doesn't matter. How is it transitioning to an acoustic kit after an extensive practice on an E-kit? I find it to be fine, but I transition between the two often enough. When I transitioned to one after only playing an E-kit for 2 years, it wasn't so good. It didn't feel great. It felt kind of crazy. It felt like the snare was the biggest difference. But what I say to my students who are like trying to do, they're curious about the same thing. I literally had a call the other week with one of my students about this very thing, which was trying to get used to playing, the snare especially was the thing. You could just get yourself a snare drum, right? If the only part of your kit that you changed, that you practiced on occasionally, was a real snare drum, you would be fine with the rest of the kit, I think. The snare is the thing that's going to give you the biggest grief. Everything else with a decent E-kit is going to, like, especially one of these, everything else translates. But before doing any of the minor stuff that I've done, I've only practiced on an E-kit. Before doing the Tesseract recording War of Being, I only practiced on an E-kit. It was fine. So yeah, it's okay. I did nearly give myself a heart attack though when I was going into the first shows after COVID, lockdown and all of that. We just went straight into a bunch of venues, like big, like little arena places with a couple of big bands, and I had one rehearsal on an acoustic kit and I didn't know how to play the snare. Oh god, it was horrible. I was like, oh shit, I've got to do this in front of a massive crowd in a day's time. I've got to quickly learn how to play the snare again. That was pretty heartbreaking, but I just had to put it at a strange angle and it was okay. So there we go. What was I saying? Speedy Bagel, this is the first time watching my stream and your audience are a bunch of helpful people. Yeah, I love that. That's a shout out to you guys. You guys are a bunch of helpful people. My Discord is like that as well. I got a drumming Discord that should be linked somewhere on my thing. I don't know if it is. If anyone is in Discord and wants to share a link, that's awesome. Yeah, it's just a load of awesome drummers and people that are like nice people as well. And if anyone isn't nice ever, they get banished into the closest sun, because I have the power of God in that Discord. That hasn't happened yet. Happened in my old Discord a couple of times. You get the occasional wonky person that comes in that's just a bit unhinged and starts saying stupid things. You're like, okay, bye. So there we go. Hello. Fly kites. I can see it now. I can see the whole word. Have you started on any new material yet? Yeah, we have started on new material. There's actually a lot of new material in the Tesseract library, which is brilliant. We are going to record some of it next month after next, and it'll be in your ears in not too much time. So look forward to that. Morris, curious what compelled you to move to the US? I love guns. Fucking love guns. That's why. I just want to shoot things. No. Politics. I love the politics here. It's a gentle place to be. It's not that either. I love kidnapping people and making them disappear. It's also not that. I mean, it's all true. My wife is American, and we saw a better life here than what we had in the UK. That was as simple as that. Literally. Simple as that. I said all of those things the other day in a post on my Instagram, and people got very annoyed. Oh, you're not a patriot. I was like, dude, look at what's happening. Come on, man. You just got to watch any news apart from Fox News, and you'll see what's going on in the world. Listen to literally anyone with a voice on the internet right now, and they're not saying America's okay. They're saying it's fucked. And I happen to agree with them. So it won't be like this all the time, though. It'll change, won't it, one day? And it'll be nice again. But right now, it's not a great place to be. Anyway, let's not focus on the negative things. Let's focus on nice drum sounds and things. Shall we play another song? I feel like I should, because it's a drumming podcast. It ain't a drumming podcast, is it? It's another thing. It's a drumming... What's this? A live stream. Thanks. Dan Snow. Yeah, I mean, we can totally agree to disagree. Like that, what I'd love is to have more conversations with people who... actually, I don't know if this is true. Would I love to do this, or would it just be nice if people could have... What would be nice, let me restart, is if people could have actual conversations. Because I think what's going actually wrong here is, you know, the thing I was talking about at the start of the stream where we've all got everything all the time. I think the problem is we've got all the news all the time, and rather than just having it once a day and it being this thing that we tune into and we find out about what's happened in the world, it's all the time and it's immediately delivered to you as soon as something's happened, and people are getting incredibly annoyed, and people are buying news, and you're getting delivered different news to other people, right? Whatever you look at on the internet, in the same way that your algorithm is giving you drum videos and photos of cats, whatever, your news is doing the same thing, right? So you're getting news from things that are aligned with your beliefs. It's reinforcing your beliefs. It's getting you more angry that other people don't believe the same thing as you. How dare they? And that's what's creating a lot of this tension between people, because you've got people on one side that think the other side is stupid for believing anything different to how I believe. And then you've got people on the other side that think the same thing. And then it's just a butting of heads publicly in comments. And comments are not the place to do that. And when I voiced my opinion the other day, because I have a voice, I'm fortunate enough to have a voice, and I'm standing up for the things that I think will make a positive difference to the most number of people. I'm doing what little I can. Then, of course, I got a lot of love for it. Quite a lot more love than hate, thankfully. But I did, of course, get a lot of hate. There are just a lot of nasty things said and sent, but you have to expect that. And there are people that are like, oh, please stick to music, stick to drumming, please don't get political. Oh, I'm not going to listen to your band now because you think something different to me. It's like, is it really that petty? Is that, you know, is it that? Has it got to that level? You can't listen to music that you love because someone in the band doesn't hold the same opinion as you. Is that also true if they believe in a different theology? Is that also true? Would you make that distinction, or is it only a political one that angers you enough? Or if they, you know what I mean? Why does it annoy people that much? Yeah. But I think more meaningful conversations where people are open to listening to this other side without hurling amendments at them would be a helpful discussion to have. And unfortunately, we think we're getting those discussions when you see things like the Pam Bondi trial thing the other day. But it's just a circus. It's just a circus. It's funny to watch that kind of stuff for people like me. It's funny because it's like, yeah, this person's a fucking crook to me. Maybe not to some other people that are here. Maybe that person is trying to do the right thing because of the news that they're getting, but it's very different to the news I'm getting. So, yeah. That is a funny one. Like, Like my wife's family are big Michigan fans, so they hate Ohio State. Hate it. Anyone that's an Ohio State fan is a trash person. Like, we see someone with an Ohio State bumper thing, the license plate thing, or an Ohio State sticker on the back of the car. They're awful. Garbage people. And there's a little bit of truth in that. Subjective truth. But it's not actually true, is it? In the same way that all this political stuff, if you just have conversations and talk to people, you probably wouldn't hate them all. Anyway, that's just me trying to be an optimist and put a little bit of love out there, because I actually had a conversation, I'm not going to say who with, but with someone who I've got great respect for, who was a drummer, who messaged me saying, "Dude, really?" And I'm like, well, yeah. And we were able to have a bit of a conversation about it, which was positive, and I'm grateful for that. So anyway, basically just be nice to people. It doesn't matter who they are. Like, I'm going to say one more thing. I'm not religious, right? I'm not a religious person. I grew up going to a Church of England school because church and state are the same thing in the UK, or it's not separate. And I'm not religious, though. Like, other than going to the ceremony, the assembly things, and once or twice a year you go to a church service, I wasn't like paying attention. It wasn't for me. But there's what's the senator, the dude out of it's not senator, the dude out of Texas, James Tallarico, is that his name? I've seen something with him recently, and he said something that was fantastic. And here we go. I'm not religious, but I'm going to say a thing. It was like, Jesus, right? So many Americans are Christian. Obviously, it's like predominant religion over here. Jesus' like one message would have been to like love thy neighbor, right? If you're going to take anything away, that's probably the one to take. It's not love thy neighbor unless like it but don't do it if they're from somewhere else. And don't do it if they're a different color. Don't do it if they're poorer. It's like, you do it regardless. That isn't happening here. Or at least in some places that isn't happening. And it seems that is getting amplified. And if more people actually did that and helped other people, it'd be a much nicer place. And it's pretty easy to do that. Like, it's not hard to be helpful to other people. So just be nice. Be nice and don't be a dick. Can we just agree to do that? Can I get like a thumbs up in chat if we can agree to be nice and not be dicks to people? And if we can do that every day, then we all win. That's literally it. I've just solved the problem. Be nice and don't be dicks. Literally. What's the difference of American country in the country you're born in? I don't know what that means. That might be a lost in translation thing. There's an ocean between us. That's why. Big thumbs up. All right. We've all agreed then, or at least two of us have agreed, that we are going to be nice to people and we're not going to be dicks. Let's all eat some fish and chips now. I would murder some fish and chips. That would be sick. I'm on a salmon diet at the moment. I'm eating lots of salmon and lots of salad and trying to be good to my body. And I'm actually feeling really good. I'm a little bit hungry all the time. That's one thing I will say. When you go from eating crap all the time and ordering pizzas 70 days a week to going to like not doing that every single day, then you're like, hang on a minute. That's not enough food. But then all of a sudden it is. Right. Let's do a thing. Here's one that you'll have never heard. Actually, there is a song that you won't have ever heard that I'd like to play in a minute. Oh, shall I do that first? Okay. This is it's not new. It's old, but it's not released. And I've been doing something with it recently, and I'd just like to play it, because this is an example of something from a Tesseract song that took me flipping ages to learn. Literally ages. And now I can play it, and it's like, oh yeah, whatever. But I still enjoy playing it. It's a song called... and it's not called that. It's just not got a name. It has got a name. I'll let you guess what it's called. And if you guess right, then you win the day. Oh, come on. Stupid thing. Hang on, I've just got to download it because it hasn't downloaded. Here we go. Let's start that again with some volume, shall we? Can't fade drums in real life. Yep, that one's called Of Salmon. Definitely. It's called Mesh Rip 2. There was 3 Mesh Rip demos back in the day. Mesh Rip 1 became Hollow, The that one that everyone loves. Mesh Rip 3 became Rebirth on the Rebirth EP, which was a really good song. Really enjoyed that one. And that's Mesh Rip 2, which was still my favourite. I still love it. Well, I don't know if it's my favourite, but of the three, it's as good as the others. But it never got used because, Mesh, Meshuggah, Rip, we knew that we were ripping them off. Mesh, Rip, there were three of them. That one felt too much like Stenger by Meshuggah, right? And that's why we didn't use it. But I think we could still turn that into something. I still flipping like it. I think it's fantastic. So, yeah. Mesh Rip 2, everyone. I was searching for that the other day to add to the demo archive because we've got this giant archive of demos, and I found it. So, yay me. And it's great. The bit in that was particularly tricky is in the middle of it. There's a bit where it goes like... And I could never do that when it was just a demo because it was programmed in first. I could never play it because it was flipping insane. I learned to do it eventually, even though it never turned it into a song, because in my mind the snare accents in that were on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but they're not. And I always thought they were when I was listening to it. They're not there. They're in these weird syncopated places, and I just had to learn where those syncopated spots were. And then I finally got it. But that was insane trying to learn that at the time. Damn. What's your favourite song of the brand new album that came out recently? I haven't listened to anything recently, so I don't know. I haven't got one. Sorry. If he did it 30 BPM time, it would rip. Plus 30 BPM, so faster than that. Like... There you go, there's 30 BPM faster. That was probably more than 30 BPM faster. I don't know, I wasn't counting, but that's fun, wasn't it? Playing things a bit faster. Now I'll play the other song I was going to play. This one's called Of Salmon Swimming Against the Current Up a Waterfall. Yes, the stack sample is delicious. I agree. Yeah. Nocturne, everyone. Of Salmon. Nocturne. What a song. Amangord. Hello. The reason I started drumming is this song. Flipping amazing. I probably have 1,000 views on your vids of this. Lol. Amazing. Well, that's great. I love that you could take inspiration from that song, turn it into something creative and fun for yourself. That's flipping awesome. Sick. Sticks Preston. See you next time, my friend. Thank you for hanging out. There we go. I don't know what that was. Piece of crap on the drums, that was. Test Practice is my favourite band. The first thing I heard in 2012 was April Demo. Yes, flipping right. Yeah, April. I covered that in a lesson recently. It's a good groove, that one. That was one that took a minute to get down as well. You've just got this repeating ostinato. Yeah, it's a fun one, that. With patterns like that, you have to get used to the whole thing repeating, like, and then learn to fill in the gap. So yeah, filling in those gaps, and then you get the ghost notes. And then you can modulate it as well. So the quarter note, and then I think a quarter note triplet, or bollocks. Yeah, the groove underneath doesn't change, but you change the subdivision over the top of it, and you get another groove out of the same pattern. Absolute magic. Akimbo, you love that even Estepario thinks you're a calculator. Yeah, I haven't met that guy. I'd like to have a conversation with him someday. He's a flipping amazing drummer. He's absolutely killed it online as well. The only thing I've seen where he mentioned me was he was in a record store somewhere, and he held up a copy of one of our records and was like, "This fucking album," and then he said some nice things, which was flipping amazing. That was so good. Yeah, so if he's out there somewhere, I'd love to have a chat with you, dude. You're flipping brilliant. Let's see what else. Andreas, Jay, you're the best drummer ever. I thank you for the compliment. I don't agree, but I try my best to be good at what I do. I appreciate you. Morris, do I have any tips on how to crack the code of Concealing Fate Part 2, the main syncopated rhythm, after the double kick section? Better, all of that nonsense. Yes. With patterns like that, you have to figure out what the whole phrase is up to a point that makes sense, and you've just got to loop it, right? I'd maybe take something like the first bit of it, like up to the fill or just past that, because that's just one loop. Like, you learn that phrase, then you learn the next phrase, and a phrase for me is like a piece of the music. It's not all of it, it's just a piece where it makes sense. Like, there's a start of the phrase, the end of the phrase, to like it makes sense in your brain, if that makes sense. For in that song, it would be like, no, not that. It would be from here, so I'll play it. I'd learn that bit first. So you learn that on repeat, and then the next bit. And sometimes there's little crossovers where you're just playing the same pattern. And then other times it's like, oh, that isn't actually the same pattern. There's another da-da-da-da in there. So I've got to think about that as just its own separate thing. Or I think we've all got different ways of learning this. Funny thing is, right, portals, Tesserakt's portals, right, this thing that they did in lockdown that I wasn't there for because I was stuck in America. Well, no, that's not true. I chose not to participate in it because I didn't want to get stuck in the UK. I spoke with Mike Mallion, who filled in for me and did an amazing job, and he learnt that stuff very differently to how I learned it, or how I learn it. He needs to look at every micro bit of it and see 4, 2, 4, 4, 2, 4, and figure that out. Whereas me, put the whole thing on loop, and it sinks into my brain like quicksand after a while. I just get the patterns. They just start to sink in. But my education in music was not going to a music college, was not doing all of that stuff. It was obsessing over rhythms, like in bands like Meshuggah. I was listening to their stuff so much and trying to understand it, just listening and listening so much that my ability to hear a 4 or play a 4 or a dotted pattern alongside another rhythm, a lot of that is just automatic at this point, right? So earlier on in the lesson, I did in the stream, sorry, I played something and then I just thought of a modulated version of it and I just did it. And it wasn't insanely complex, but it's complex enough. Like, probably quite a few drummers wouldn't just be able to do it. And it's only because I've spent enough time with the idea of doing that I'm able to do it over multiple things. When you learn something, you never know how it's going to transcend the initial idea that you're learning, but it almost always does. So you learn a new concept on the kit, and it transfers at some point to another thing that you play, and that happens all the time. And the crazy thing is you just don't know when it's going to happen or what it's going to be, but you have to trust that in learning something new, things from that thing translate and transfer into other parts of your playing. And it's happened all through Tesseract. If you go back and watch the performance of Concealing Fate Part 1 that I did with Meinl, it's very different to the album version, and that's because new things have leached into my playing from that process, just the process of learning. So should always be learning, definitely. What else have we got here? You and Matt Garsker are two of my favourite drummers of all time. Thank you very much, Leo Drums. Yeah, Matt's a absolute animal on the drums. I haven't seen anyone else play like him on the planet. He's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's see what else we got. What are you the bass drums for the song you're talking about just played? I don't know what that means. What are you playing on your bad drums? I love the Lost in Translation stuff. It makes me laugh so much. It's so sweet. Thank you for asking a question in a language that is not your main language and the bravery it took to do that. And thank you for it making me laugh. I guess it's making my day. I love it. So the exact pattern, again, without having it in front of me, I don't know, because I don't think about it like that. I don't think about it as, oh, it's a 4 and a 2 and a 2 and a 4. I can't just recall it without going, okay, it's 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. Like, even then, I'm like, what is it? 2, 4, 2, 4, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 2, 4, 2. No, 2, 4. Like, it doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can say it, kind of, but you need more than me just saying it once on a stream to learn it, because it is just a series of numbers and you have to learn it in order to get these things down. So there we go. What else we got? Jay, do you have any tips on how to... Wait, those comments disappeared! You deleted them! No! I was enjoying reading those. Oh, please keep leaving comments. I didn't mean to. I've scared you off, haven't I? Daniel, come back. No. Oh, that's so good. So consistently solid in everything. Thank you very much. Very, very cool, Isaac Turner. I appreciate you. Guys, I've got not that much time. I'll do one more thing for you, then I'm going to wrap this up. For anyone who is here, who's a drummer, I'll say this once or twice on each stream, but I'm going to say it now. I teach drums on the internet and in person, kind of. I have a website, jpostones.com. Go and check that out. If you're a drummer, you can get a 7-day free trial. There's loads of lessons on there. There's some courses on there. Start with if you're a beginner drummer, there's a beginner course. If you're not a beginner drummer and you're somewhere in the middle, check out the Practical Guide to Modern Drumming. There's a book that I put out a couple of weeks ago that comes with that. You can check that out on my socials profile. Go to Instagram and you get the link to that. Check that out. It's a free book. All of the exercises that are in that book, it's like how to get into good practice sessions, and then 70 exercises across 8 more lessons, and all of that is free. Go and check that out. And if you want videos of all of the things that are in that book, they're all on the website, and you can check that out with a 7-day free trial. Then the other thing that's on my website that is starting in 1 week, my Progressive Drumming Masterclass, I talked about it at the start of the stream. It's the big program that I do with drummers, up to 20 drummers at a time. It's a 5-month program, so you work with me for 5 months and a bunch of other lovely drummers. It's all done remotely. There's 21 lessons. I drop a lesson a week, and there is there's 3 weeks baked in to give you a little bit of rest, so it's not just like, oh my god, I gotta do 21 weeks of this crazy shit. But it's a really good time, and the idea is that each week you're working on 1, 2, or 3 things that represent your next level as a drummer. It doesn't have to be something insane. You don't have to spend a crazy amount of time. It's just spend 3 to 4 practice sessions each week with that thing. Now, there are people in the chat who I know in the masterclass who are like, Jay, shut up. It's going to take you more than 3 sessions a week. Yes, it might take you more than 3 sessions a week. To fully absorb these things, like most people are going to go over them again and again. It's going to be something, but you got lifetime access to it. You buy it one time and you got lifetime access to it on the site, and there are one-on-ones included with it for the entire duration that we work together for the like between 4 and 5 months. So if you're interested in that, the next one launches, Masterclass 2026 launches a week tomorrow on February the 28th, Saturday, February the 28th. I'm doing calls with people who are interested in doing it over this weekend and into next week. So check that out. Go to jposounds.com, click on the Masterclass button. It's going to tell you everything you need to know, and we'll have a conversation if you're interested in doing that. There's a little form. There's videos on what it, like, more about what it's all about. I've got like a 15-minute explanation about everything. It goes into everything. But I'd love to have a conversation with you about that if you're up for doing it and you want to spend the next 4 to 5 months working closely with me and getting on video calls and hanging out with some amazing drummers in my Discord. And that is my speech. I'm going to play one more song for you. I'm going to do the big one. Come on. Oh, it would help if it wasn't muted. It was muted. What an idiot. Double kick. Guys, thank you all so much for hanging out with me, spending some of your Friday with me. It's been a flipping great time. I like doing these things. I hope you enjoy hanging out. I'll be back next Friday with another one of these, 4 p.m. Eastern time, whatever that is in your part of the world. Please come and hang out. I'd love to say hi with you. Hi with you. I'd love to say hi with you to you. And I'd love for some more questions to come at me from you. So thank you very much for that. One last plug for jposthomes.com. If you're a drummer, please go and check it out. If you're not a drummer, then don't, because there's nothing on there for you other than more of my face. There are some live streams on there, but yeah, you can get that here for free. So have a lovely weekend, whatever you're doing, and catch you on the next one. Bye.